Hey guys, welcome back. Today I would like to share my second sewing themed journal that I made for this collection. Thank you so much for all the kind comments on my previous video. I hope you enjoyed the flip through. I know it was a long and chatty one. I will try to make it shorter this time, but I still want to point out all the details because there's a lot of collectible things and authentic ephemera in these journals, so I just wanted to show them to you. And yeah, I hope you like this one too. As you can see, compared to the one that I previously did the flip through of, it is a much bigger size in comparison. The cover is quite different as well. Just so you know, the cover measure around 26.5 centimeters height, and then by around 18 with all the things picking out on the side. I love to make junk journals that have stuff going on the top and on the side, and yeah, so that's the second journal. And I actually called this one, I forgot to mention that I did give name to these journals, and this one is called Valentine. Valentine was the name of my grandmother, one of my great grandmother. Also, it's also a name that I really love, and has a V embroidered piece here on the cover. So I thought it would be special to give it a name. And starting with a closure, I just used this ribbon. This is actually a very old kind of pink lace ribbon, and it's very pretty. You have a nice amount of it. And I also did the closure. Well, it's not really a closure, it's the buckle. That's the name of it. It's one of those vintage buckles, actually the last one that I own. A glass one from the 50s, and it still has its little tag, which I thought was super cute. For this journal, it also has a little tag on the front, and it's a handmade tag out of different scrap pieces of magazines. I did a lot of handmade tags and ephemera using those antique women's magazines, French women's magazine. And so you have different types. As you can see, the paper patina isn't the same. This is an antique clothing tag, Georgette, Haute Mode Paris. So that's a very beautiful one. And it's just pinned with a little pin. And I added some scraps of lace and a bit of text here, and this is part of a mother of pearl button card. And so this is just a little tuck spot on the back, and I placed inside just this advertising. So I really like this tag. I really like cutting out these shapes, these embroidered images from the magazine. And the cover, I really love this cover because it has all sorts of antique cotton fabric. They are all French, and they have flowers on them. And actually, as I mentioned for my last journal, these are the last pieces that I had left in my collection. This one here, this is the only piece that I had with the roses. It's a stunning piece. And then we have appliques that are handmade. So this is really special, this star-shaped one. And just some lace, handmade lace bits and trims. It's a bit patchworked, as I like to make my covers. And it has one signature, fabric scraps, and then just a large piece of this beautiful like red and white cotton fabric with the flowers and the birds. And so here I made a pocket, and I did stitch some things onto it. There are some hand embroidered details here, and then some antique lace pieces. I also stitched these buttons and this vintage labels of linen, antique linen piece. So a very nice color and patina. And inside I put this, but this is the same wallpaper, and I just stitched on the borders to create a pocket. So you could put some ephemera inside from your collection. This I thought could be Valentine. Well, Valentine. I just love the way she looks, but also her look, you know, her fringe as well, and the beautiful pendant. I think it's really beautiful, and it's from 1880, and it has this kind of bright yellow background. It's very pretty. Authentic ephemera. This is a pink piece of ephemera paper. It came in a, I don't know, in a sort of leaflet, theater leaflet. And then this is also a real authentic piece. Those beautiful buttons from, you know, Haute Nouveauté Paris, and I just love the details here, and then the color of the button. As usual, I'm using these 1800s documents as the first pages, and here I just did a little bit of collaging and put some velvet trim on the side here, and I clipped some things. This is taken from a catalog from Les Grands Magasins de la Samaritaine in Paris. So this is an antique page and very fragile. This is just a random piece that I tucked on top here, so you could create a little booklet or just write some notes here, and I just decorated the front and the back with some scrap pieces. These are you know, those stamps, images that I got from the flea market, and just a bit of collage here. You can do some journaling on the side. Again, lots of collaging, especially on the where it's bound, so it gives the page more sturdiness. And this is an embroidery taken from an embroidery magazine. I love the details. So here we have a handmade bookmark. This was taken from a garden book, a garden magazine, and again using all the scraps, doing some clusters, and then just putting them on my handmade pieces. And here on this side I did a little bit of collaging, and then I clipped this ephemera. This one is dated from 1943. On this side we have a tuck spot. Sorry, it's not focusing. We have a tuck spot here made out of an advertisement from one of those magazines. Just added some small details. I clipped this vintage button card. It's just a pin. And well, there's one of Ruby and Pearl's Exo's digital prints that I printed on this vellum. So I had two pieces, and I put one in each journal. And then we have just a tag that you can further embellish or just write on the back. And this authentic French embossed holy card. Another pocket made out of a postcard, a French postcard that was sent in 1919. And that's just a tip for you if you have some postcard you don't really like. You can just, you don't really like the front of, maybe you can just use the back if it has some nice writing, and just create some tuck spots and pockets with it. And so here I just added this handmade piece of ephemera, and this is just a little booklet actually, and there's a lot of lace bits that I stitched onto the top, and then you can just do some writing on the mainly coffee stained paper. And this is a cutout from one of those designs, embroidery designs that I love. I had a lot of parts of these cards in my stash, and I think it's great to add to the tags and handmade ephemera. And then I just clipped this calling card. Pretty Lady from the Femina magazine. And I have these kind of, it looks like a shoelace, but it's silk thread. It's really stunning, and it's shiny, it's soft, and I have a few of these. I don't know where I got these from, but I don't really know how to use them except for making these kind of, I don't know, this thing. So, and then on this side we have a handmade tag. This one is made out of a piece of wallpaper that was block printed. This one I got from Maria, so thank you, Maria. And just some random pieces, and I hand stitched all the buttons on this vintage lace trim piece. This is some sari silk ribbon. A little pocket here. I just folded the page to create this pocket. The famous Redouté roses illustrations, so one of them, and I pinned this authentic sample card. The other side of the Redouté illustration, and I just made a little cluster of things that I had left on my desk, some random bits. I thought it was pretty, and then I just added these little label. You can add some notes. Here you can do some writing. This is a ledger page from 1920 French ledger. This is actually antique ribbon. It's really sturdy, like it's really thick and durable and pretty. Here we have a floating pocket. I wanted some of the ephemera that I made to be removable, and just so they can, take the bulk out of the journal as well. So this is just a floating, kind of a thick, actually, floating pocket collaged together. These are beautiful flowers. And then there's the pocket here. We have a stamp. This is a perfume label. And inside I just put this piece of paper for your writing. This came in one of those magazines. And we have another page reinforced with some collage bits. This is a vintage embroidered fabric. And also I bound this beautiful handwritten document into the journal, and I stitched 2 pockets with this kind of, it's antique. This interesting piece here. You can see through. It's very delicate, and I don't know what type of ribbon that is, but I love this one. It has a beige tint to it, and yeah, I just made some pocket. We have bits of antique lace pinned here, and then a little lace card. You can use the lace from it. It's very fine lace, and I believe it's handmade. So can you see that? Very pretty. We have a calling card. Again, everything is authentic. Then on this pocket we have this beautiful lady. I thought that could be the profile of Valentine. I love that it has some textured card on the background. It has a blue tint to it, and we have just a vintage playing card. I like the design of this one, this soft blue design, and then this little piece of ephemera. So on this page we have this beautiful illustration. It actually came in a much bigger piece, and I did use part of it in the other journal. So let me show you again. Here. It's so beautiful. I love this page. I love the contrasting colors, and I attached this antique piece of lace. This is antique as well. And I added some ephemera for your collection. This is a bloating paper. And then this beautiful menu card. This one is very Art Nouveau, and it's from the early 20th century. This one I actually got in the last flea market I went to. I think I have another one, but I wanted to put it in a bundle for sale in my shop. So we'll see. And then we have this handmade kind of tag card. I don't know. I just fussy cut out this beautiful violet essence perfume from a magazine, and then added this piece of lace, and you can tuck some stuff in it. I just tucked two vintage perfume labels. Next we have this page which has lots of baby pink and blue put together, and so this illustration came from a vintage embroidery magazine. I just love the colors. I reinforced the back and made it into a big pocket. We have a small tuck here. Again, just putting some random bits of scrapbooking papers and lace. And then we have this card here that was damaged, but I didn't want to throw it away, so I just used it as a little embellishment here and put this very random, but just a journaling card out of scrapbook paper, and then a piece of an invoice for your collaging, and a very long perfume label. This one I believe is vintage. Part of a Femina, oh, sorry about that. Part of a Femina magazine, just a pink floral textile, and then I just put a ball pin and some few bits and pieces. Again, we have these small cards that I have plenty of. Well, not anymore because I almost used them up, but and then just a little bundle, well, not a bundle, just a ticket, a coupon, and antique, very fine lace trim. On this side we have, this is all removable, so you have space for journaling. This is some of this linen that I have, and attached here we have some little, I don't know if it's really buttons, I guess it is, but special ones. And attached to this page we have a few things. We have a large Au Bon Marché calling card, advertising card. I made another of these scrap booklets. In this one we have, this is actually rose dyed paper from Paper Art Alessandra, and I got this one a few years ago now when we did a Happy Mail swap, and I think it's one of the last pieces that I got, so that's very nice. And then we have some avocado dyed pieces. This one, I think it had some pieces of maybe blueberries or some sort of berry. Scrappy tag, and then I just stitched a button. So next we have this floating piece. This is again some advertisement from a magazine. So you could cut these out if you want to create some collaging. And then one of those, this is a printout. This is one of the, I told you I in my previous video that I started to make, a very long time ago actually, started to make a kit. And yeah, I just made 2 cards. And well, this is the blue version of it, so also did some collage on this one, but you can write on the back. We have a pocket here, a tuck spot made out of a vintage playing card, a V for Valentine, wallpaper piece that I got from Maria. There's some ribbon here, and we have just a handmade card here and a label, a perfume lotion label. Another handmade piece of ephemera using some of the remaining wallpaper piece that I showed you. This is a die cut, a Victorian die cut. This is real one. A postcard that I didn't like the front of, but loved the back. And so yeah, you can journal on the back. I also did this like quite wide envelope here and put some various tickets for your collaging sessions, and then again collaging and lots of fabric tabs. And here we have on this beautiful background, this is scrapbooking paper, and I made 2 pockets and just included some ephemera. We have a playing card. This is an authentic Manila kind of tag. And then here we have a piece of handwritten note and a little tuck spot here. These are 2 things that I printed. This is part of a kit, and I just put some pieces of random things onto the original image. So there are some handmade papers, some some book pages, just pieces from a bit of everything. This is a scrapbooking paper piece, linen piece, and then just added this ribbon, and you could use this as a big writing journaling card. And this is actually the middle of the signature, all collaged together. We have another printout. This one is from the Graphics Fairy. I had this laying around and I just love the colors with this, just a soap label that I printed onto coffee dyed paper. So this is one piece from Le Cas de la Samaritaine. So just an advertisement. I keep saying advertising. I don't know. I think it's advertisement. But it has a nice kind of sea green, blue-ish tint to it. The other side with a bit of scrappy collaging. This is some ticking. This is antique, and we have a handmade card, like a handmade floating pocket. I used some vintage, no, it's actually antique now. It's from the 20s. It's a piece of a French invoice, and I just embellished it with a stamp and did a little pocket with some scraps and added this beautiful lithographs, I believe. Yeah, and so that goes in here. Oops. And you can write. This is removable, so you don't have to keep it in the journal if you don't like it. A big pocket, fabric pocket, and just a very random piece of, well, this is a journaling card, and there's a bit of everything on this card. Some fabric remnants and just some wallpaper pieces. This is part of a a button sachet and like stamps, writing space. You can further embellish this one if you don't like it as is. On this page we have a double pocket. We have here and then a little one here. So in the little one I put some clippings, and then in the big one we have some note paper and a page from a 1907 almanac. So that's for your journaling if you'd like it. And then we have a handmade card. Again, I used some of these cutouts from the embroidery designs and then just stitched a beautiful mother of pearl button. Very delicate pocket, so I didn't put much inside, just this beautiful lithograph. Sorry for the shaking, but the camera is not focusing well. I don't know what's going on. For some trim, and I just thought the packaging was fun, and yeah, maybe you could use it somehow. We have a pocket here, and it's not focusing. And inside I just put this beautiful like design that you can collage with. It's from a magazine, Mon Ouvrage, and I just left a piece here for you. Here I cut out this beautiful image. This came in the magazine as well. I just reinforced the back a little bit with another piece of paper. But yeah, I just love the design. It's gorgeous. I didn't know really what to do with it. I just wanted it to be in the journal, so I just tucked it here. But then we have, well, this is just a flap here, and then just a random piece of handmade ephemera. This is actually a little pocket that I sewn, a little fabric pocket that I sewn onto a scrappy tag, and I put some of these stamps that I keep talking about that I got in this flea market, and I have so many of them, so I just wanted to share some in each journals. Journaling space. This is from an encyclopedia, so a very beautiful page about embroidery. And we have one scrappy pocket here, made out of all sorts of scraps that I had left, and this one is actually backed with scrapbooking paper, so it's a sturdy pocket. And inside we've got this handmade ephemera. These two pictures were cut out from a magazine, just a recent magazine about, I don't even remember what, but I love to collect images from magazines that I've read, so yeah, I used this one here, and then a random tag, again using some of these things that I had left over on my desk. The other side of this beautiful like floral design paper, and on this side we have the other part of the handwritten document, and just put some bits and pieces here to reinforce the page. It had some holes, and I added this pretty postcard. I love the back. Look at this writing here. So beautiful. This one is from 1915, and I love the yellow here that goes with this part of the page. A beautiful lace pocket. This one is very old. It's kind of a mauve kind of shade. It's pink, but but a little purple in the pink. I don't know if you know what I mean. And I just, because the paper was so fragile and this was so delicate, I did reinforce the page with some paper bits, and then just added this another beautiful lithograph from La Mode Illustrée. On this page here we have a pocket and a belly band here. Again, well, you know now, it's all scrappy and yeah, and kind of junky as well a little bit. So it's pretty, and yeah, love the back as well, from 1907. And then just some random bits. This is a printout. You can add your button. It's a button card. And then this, oh, I thought I added a few. Let me add a few pages. Yeah. Right here. Journaling space. Here we have the last pages. This is an ephemera that I took from a journal that I made a long time ago and didn't use. So it's a printout from the Graphics Fairy of this beautiful lady. And I just added these little pieces on the top here. You can journal on the back. And then here, I also stitched a bit of this felt fabric, so you can add your needles and your safety pins. There's this pocket here, and I just added this handmade tag with some antique tickets. And this is a rosette, and I added this button here. And then we have this piece of ephemera here. It's bright pink and it's pretty. This is just stitched. You can do some journaling around it. When you flip it up, you have this scrappy pocket and this à la Samaritaine card, info card. There's one in the other journal as well. So I had two left, and I just put these two in each one. This is actually a real coupon from Magasin Moderne. I just stapled it. You could remove it if you don't want it here, but I just love the design, and I just made this card, handmade card, with a bit of scrap pieces from this beautiful wallpaper and the design that I took a piece of and put in the journal. This is an authentic piece from La Samaritaine, and this is really nice. I only have one of these. I never came across another one. I don't know, it's an advertisement sort of paper, but it has some nice colors and just the beautiful image here. It's from 1929, and it's actually designed by Villa. It's a really special piece. And these are the last pages. Again, a piece of an antique pink lace trim. And this is the back pocket, and I just added this little scrappy piece here. You can remove it, of course. It's just pinned to it's just attached to a safety pin. And I made a kind of a sample card of different things, like, well, this is a scrapbook paper, and I just added a few things like a piece of laces, handmade paper, trims, a little key here, and just some laundry trim, some pieces of sari silk, and tickets and ledger piece. Yeah, just very random, but I just had fun making. And this is the back. So again, another long flip through. I still hope you enjoyed it, and this journal is also for sale. So if you're interested, again, you can DM me on my Instagram account, and yeah, I will see you for the last journal from the collection. And actually, in the meantime, like in between those 2 weeks that I filmed, I did another journal. I really was inspired to use up my stuff, also because I'm not doing much more sales anymore, so I do have some nice ephemera to share with you in my journals. And so I just made this blue journal, and yeah, this one I really like. It's again one signature journal, and I really liked making these. These are my favorite. I will show you this one in a future video, but this one will also be available for sale. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're doing great, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.